Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Everyone, have you ever been in the middle of doing something important, maybe writing an assignment, preparing a project, or you're just studying for an exam? And then you said to yourself, let's take a short break, just 5 minutes on social media. However, those 5 minutes quietly turn into hours. You scroll and scroll, and before you know it, the thing that you are doing is already forgotten. And then you stop for a moment, asking yourself, what just happened? How did this short break turn into an endless scroll? That moment of confusion, that silent question, is exactly what we're going to talk about in this page. I'm Rifaludin, and I will take you on a journey through a complex and crucial topic. How is social media reshaping our brains and society? Well, most of us use social media every single day. It feels entertaining and harmless. But the more I used it, the more I noticed something strange. The more I scrolled, the more time I lost, and the harder it became to focus on my real. I realized maybe I wasn't just losing time. I was slowly losing my ability to control myself. This is how social media doesn't only reshape our habits, but also reshape the way our brain focus and how society consumes information. To understand why this happens, I read a study from the National University of Singapore by Christian Fonderwert titled Helping Users Tackle the Algorithmic Threat on Social Media. According to the study, platforms use algorithms, the invisible system that study our behavior. They record what we like, what we watch, and even how long we spend looking at something. Consequently, they use that information to predict what will keep our attention the longest, showing it to us again and again. In addition to this, there is another concept called filter bubble, introduced by Ali Pariser and discussed further by experts. Burns explained that algorithms tend to show people only the kind of information they already agree with. As a result, this creates a digital bubble where we see only a content that matches our opinions and interests. And here is the critical point. What happens when these two forces meet? When the algorithmic control captures our attention and the filter bubble narrows our perspective, they work together to create a cycle of dependency. Therefore, we are no longer just exploring the internet, we are being consumed by it. It is through this invisible process that we lose our balance. We don't just scroll anymore, we are being guided, little by little, without even realizing it. So, the question is, if algorithms can decide what we see and even how we feel, are we truly in control? Or have we quietly given that control away? Now listen carefully, because what comes next is one of the most crucial parts of this entire discussion. Before we talk about the solution, we need to understand what this constant exposure is doing to our minds. When the algorithm continuously feeds our brain with instant reward, such as like, endless videos, and notification, our attention becomes fragmented. Over time, this doesn't only change what we see, but also how we make decisions and how our brain functions. Therefore, the solution is not to escape the technology, because in today's world, it's almost impossible. Instead, we must learn how to interact with it consciously. Algorithms learn from us, they adapt to our behavior. In a sense, the algorithms are mirrors. They reflect what we watch, what we search for, and even what we choose to pay attention to. So, if we feed them is distraction, then they will give us distraction in return. But if we choose to use it intentionally to learn, to grow, to broaden our perspective, they can become one of the most powerful tools for human progress. By doing this, we transform the algorithm from a silent manipulator into a powerful ally, one that amplifies learning, empathy, and awareness instead of distraction and dependence. Well, as I end this speech, I would like to leave you with this. What you consume, consume you. What consumes you, controls your life. I'm Rifaludin. Thank you.